The Wacky Worm is a 1941 Warner Brothers cartoon. This is directed by Friz Freleng and written by Dave Monahan, with voices of the worm and the crow provided by Mel Blanc. And I have to say, I didn't love this, but I think that's more of a personal preference thing rather than anything actually wrong with it. And in actual fact, there were a few bits that I quite liked. A few things that I thought were quite surprising or really well done. For example, apples. There are a lot of apples in this, and there's just something about the way they were animated that just felt so sweet and really, really rather appealing to look at. I'm not sure why, but this focuses on this little worm who is, well, quite a character, put it that way. And we have this crow and, well, the relationship between the two of them. And it's a very interesting relationship, an interesting dynamic, and it worked quite well. I didn't necessarily enjoy it, but I can't say there was anything wrong with it. I feel like the characters were well written, well developed. The voice acting was very good. They were well animated. I didn't love the worm as a character, but he was very well animated, and the movement of the worm was really good as well. I say worm, he kind of looks more like a caterpillar to me than a worm, but obviously it is a worm. And the crow, I actually like the crow a little bit more. I'm not sure why. I think maybe the crow was just slightly less annoying. There was something about the worm that just I didn't love. I didn't hate, but it's not my favorite character, put it that way. The narrative doesn't really move anywhere, but a lot does happen, and it's quite random. And I'll mention just one thing that took me by surprise. I won't mention everything, I don't want to spoil it, but just one thing to give you a taste of the kind of peculiar things. There's a toaster in it at one point. I won't say what role it plays or why the toaster's there. Well, why it's there may not have an answer, but the toaster is a little bit random, and I thought, okay, this is very creative. This is not what I was expecting. So there were some things that, there were things that were keeping me engaged. So I didn't love it because I don't really care for the characters, but it was quite a surprising cartoon, so it was enough to keep me hooked and keep me watching until the end. The music was quite good as well. The music was quite uplifting. It definitely went well with the action on screen. So I enjoyed bits of it, but The Wacky Worm is not a cartoon that I would say I enjoyed overall. It was fine, probably wouldn't watch it again, but I didn't mind the time I spent watching it. If you haven't seen it and you're a fan of Warner Brothers cartoons, I'd say give it a go. It's not too bad, but for me, I think once is enough.